Hey, well, obviously, really, really exciting year. We get to do some football this week and everything, and looking forward to that. Before we kind of dive into it and answer questions, some cool announcements, some things I want to make sure as we get ripping and running here with the excitement of actually getting the ball that I don't miss. Want to make sure that all of our season ticket holders, current season ticket holders, know that for the next 2 weeks, when we start practice on Wednesday, the practices will be open as a way to say thanks. You guys never ending support. So information will be coming out through the ticket office for you to be able to come down. We'll be practicing for the next 2 weeks from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning. We have off days on July 30th and August 13th, but any other time in there starting Wednesday through the 13th. Current season ticket holders, come on out. Want to show, say thanks and thank you for your support and engage with you more and build those bonds and build those connections. We also dropped last week a little save the date information about FanFest, which will be on August 14th. So 2 weeks out from the season opener. We'll be kicking off at 7:05. It'll be an open scrimmage for all of our fans to be able to come out, support this new Aztec team, right? And be able to get a first glimpse, first look at what this team looks like in a full scrimmage opportunity. We're also going to be showing off for the first time some new game day experiences, introducing some new game day traditions that's going to make Snapdragon the place to be this fall. So want our fans to be a part of that. A little bit of dress rehearsal for the fans as well. So 2 weeks from that date, we can have an awesome home experience. We also, leading up to this event, are going to be doing some different giveaways, generate some excitement and some buzz around that night and the season, and actually get the cool honor here of announcing our first winner of one of those giveaways that we dropped with the save the date for the new EA Sports college football video game. So for the Instagram winner was Roman Aguilar, and the Twitter winner was Aztec Braden. You gotta love that handle. That's awesome. So check out your DMs. Our support staff will be sending you the code so that you can have your copy of the new college football video game. Make sure you play with the Aztecs. Looking forward to seeing you guys, there at FanFest. Also, more information will be forthcoming about other save the dates, more giveaways. So make sure all of Aztec Nation that you're following along on Twitter at AztecFB and on Instagram at Aztec Football, okay? Currently on those social media platforms is our The Climb mini-series that Io and the marketing team have done a great job with in partnering with Quinto to give a behind-the-look, never-before-seen access of everything that we've been doing since January, since we've been back. And there's going to be episodes that will be dropping every single week leading up to the season. So again, want to pull the curtain back in this era of football, really kind of taking the helmet off and getting our community, our fans to be able to see who the guys are underneath the helmets so that they can really engage with them. One last important date, save the date, mark it, August 21st at 6 p.m. We're going to be having our Aztec kickoff dinner down on the Midway. So kind of revamping this awesome event, but doing that down on the Midway, right downtown in the harbor. Going to have a great night with players and coaches. Again, 1 week out from kicking off the season. The guest speaker is an elite individual with deep Aztec ties. More details to come on that as we go. Last announcement, we do school around here as well with all this other stuff, and really pleased to announce that our current roster, all the active guys, posted a 3.0 team GPA last spring. So that's 2 out of the last 3 semesters. The team has posted a 3.0 team GPA. And with that, I'll open it up to you guys and the questions and all things that are important, top of mind, that we're going to discuss as we enter training camp and the fourth phase of this climb and this fun 2025 season.
A lot of players have talked about how this year is a little different than last year, obviously in a better way. Yeah. How do you think that's going to translate into what you guys do in fall camp and into the season?
Yeah, I think there's a greater level of comfort and connection in the building than there was a year ago. I think just the time on task that we have had together, that ultimately leads to confidence, right? And, trust within the building. And I think anytime that you're confident in what you're doing, I know our kids and our staff believe in our process and they're trusting one another and the work that's getting done, that's ultimately going to yield a better product on the field and better results on the scoreboard.
How's the program handling the new scholarship limit changes? Are you guys working towards the new max? Are you still internally kind of capped at a limit?
Yeah, we're looking at all possibilities as we go, right? As we approach this upcoming season with everything transitioning to the Pac-12, we'll still be at 85 full scholarships, right? We'll have 20 walk-on players, and there's a great balance there within the locker room that we'll continue to manage as more comes in the future. We'll see where that brings.
Sean, everybody, coaches love continuity and individual continuity for the year plus. Is this just generally what Group of Five football has had to become because of NIL transfer portal? And do you think it's going to go away? Do you think you're going to find continuity going forward?
No, I think continuity is a byproduct of the day-to-day experiences that you have, right? And so we've had the good fortune of, the majority of the retention of our roster, the majority of the guys that we've been able to keep tied together, right, are leaders. And most importantly, too, right, we only had one staff member that had a great opportunity to move along. Like that's always been, at this level, so to speak, right? Like the continuity and the connection of your staff to be able to have the familiarity of how you're going to do the process and work each phase as you go. So, a lot gets made about the doom and the gloom of where we're at in college football. And I think it's an exciting opportunity to embrace and to lean into with everything that's going on, right? Like we have an ascending university with an R1 institution. We have an athletic department that's going to the Pac-12. The details of the new Pac-12 Media Day, deal will continue to come down. That's only going to benefit our program and all the programs. And as we continue to put a better product on the field, I know there'll be more people in the community that will come out and support us. And that's going to build and lead to momentum, right, that will lead to ultimately the continuity and the retention of our roster year in and year out, and to be able to have the development over time that our fans and that, the general public has become accustomed to.
When you did your autopsy after the season, as painful as it was, what disappointed you more, just that the offense did not grow and explode, or the fact that defense caved at the end of the season?
Yeah, all of it's an opportunity to learn. Your words, not mine, that it was painful, right? But it's necessary, right? It's not good or bad necessarily. It simply is what it is. And we looked at it as matter-of-factly as we could. There was obviously lack of development. There was lack of depth in certain areas that we needed to address. Feel like we've done that and really like the position that we are right now so that we can attack this new year with great excitement.
When you look at the last 6 games, was there anything that jumped out in particular that you were that close in a couple games that was the difference between winning and losing?
Learn how to win, right? There was 3 games at the start and throughout the season, right, with Central Michigan, Wazoo, and New Mexico that you lose by a combination of 9 total points, right? And so we have a great collection of talent that's becoming a team, and that team needs to learn how to win, and that's what this time of year is for, right? And so that's being focused and having great attention to detail. That's taking ownership of all the things that we put down, both the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And then finding the most smart and effective way to go about what we're doing. And then when push comes to shove, when the moments show up, just like life, having the mental and physical toughness to endure and to win and to find yourself on the right side of those ledgers. And so that's been what this climb has been all about. It starts with the connection and the foundation of the people in the building, really pouring into them as we go. And then now we're in this really cool moment of the season where all eyes are on us, where we've been quietly working in the dark for a very, very long time. But for the next 24 days until we break camp, we get to exponentially get better because we get to kind of go sequester ourselves in this football bubble and really get good at our craft.
The FAST acronym, F was for fun, now it's focus. Can you expand a little bit on why you changed to that?
Yeah, because when we have better focus, we're going to win, and winning is fun.
When it comes to those close games, and having a guy like Gabriel Placencia, who was just named the preseason Mountain West Special Teams Player of the Year, what do you expect from him this year, and how important is it to have somebody with that dependability?
Yeah, I'm banking on him being consistently good, not occasionally great, right? The way that he was to earn that honor and, to obviously be one of those guys that we can put in position that when the game's on the line, he's going to do his job, nothing more, nothing less, and put the ball through the pipes the way that he always has, right? And that gives you great confidence and great trust, again, like as a play caller and as the leader of this organization to know, like, okay, this guy's got great range. We'll find out exactly what that range is as we move through with the changes that he's made and everything, right? But to know, all right, well, if we're down 2 with a minute 20 to go on the clock and we have 2 timeouts, well, we know exactly where we need to get to. And then obviously there's going to be a lot made about, the swing that Gabe puts on it, right? But hey, like it's got to start with Tyson and his operation as we go forward, right? And figuring out who's going to be the most consistent holder for us as we go, and all the other guys up front, all the other 8 doing their piece as well. So yeah, hey, we're going to point to Gabe and we're going to celebrate with him, and that's going to be awesome. There's going to be some great moments, but there's a lot of other guys that need to do their part as well.
I'm sorry.
On the
Where's James
defensive-
Daniel taking a big jump since he got on campus?
Figuring out where he can go without having to use GPS. He knows how to get to class. He knows what our terminology and our technology is in the building. He can watch video on his own, right? I mean, he doesn't have to ask for help in everything that he does. We'll see how he progresses, from summer work that he's put in from the time that we left it in the spring. And again, that's where we get to do a little bit now, right, with him, but it's all position-specific conditioning. But for the past 3 months since we broke, from spring ball, if the football's come out and the players are around us, coaches got to go away, right? So we'll get an opportunity to get hands-on, see exactly where he's at, but just talking with him and his familiarity and speaking our language, right? Like that gives you confidence with the time that he's put into it, and just a level of comfort that he has with going through his progressions and knowing what needs to happen.
Does Bert English bring a unique dynamic to the offense, a different thing?
Bert Emanuel.
I'm sorry, Bert Emanuel.
Yeah, so Bert obviously does everything above the line as well. He's got a superpower in his ability to run that is well documented, and he's got proven production, from his time at Central Michigan in that regard. So he's an explosive playmaker, right? And we got to do a good job utilizing all of our explosive playmakers, this upcoming fall.
If it does end up being identical, what do you do to still keep Bert involved, given the talents he brings?
Yeah, I mean, have a role for him, right? And be open and transparent with him as we go through it. And that's no different than anyone else, right? Like if we got good football players that are standing on our boundary that can help us win games, and they're standing next to me, well, then me and that player are going to have the same amount of impact on the game, right? Like I get excited this time of year because this is as close as I get without being able to actually play, right? Like coaches ultimately on game day are going to coach. And so it's our job as coaches to allow the players who can still play and have a positive impact on the game with their play to get them on the field, right? So however it sorts out, Bert's going to have a very valuable role to this team, and he's going to be an explosive playmaker that all their opponents are going to have to account for. And Bert, being the young man that he is and the high character that he has, again, like through our transparency and the relationship that we've built, if it ends up being that, I know that he'll embrace that and he'll go forward and, do a great job for us this fall.
What do you think the competition's going to come down to ultimately? Who proves to every guy?
Yeah, who gives the offense confidence, right? Like at the end of the day, like we're sitting here at a very unique spot to where the majority of our defense is coming back. I mean, you could say, hey, 10 or 11 starters, however you want to slice it, right? With the production that we have coming back on special teams as well, the majority of our key guys and key contributors are back as well. There's a couple guys that are coming back offensively, right? And so regardless of who's coming back, the quarterback is the one who gives the offense a personality. The quarterback is the one who instills confidence in the offense. So whoever the guy is that when he has the ball in his hands, not only the offense, but the whole organization goes, yeah, that's our dude. Like he's going to move this, and no matter what the situation is, we're going to go put the ball in the end zone. That guy ultimately who injects that confidence and that swagger, if you will, into the program, that's going to be the guy who's going to get the ball.
Look at last year, do some self-scouting. What did you think of your performance, and what would you replicate, and what would you change?
Yeah, it was poor, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're judged on your record, right? And so 3-9 is never acceptable. And so the thing that we look back on that we've been intentional about all year round is everyone truly understanding the details of the plan, how we need to work our process, and having the trust and the connections within the building, both amongst the staff to the players, players to players, so that we can do a much better job at working our process and working our plan so that we can have it happen in a expedited manner, right? Like, but also know and understand, hey, the changes that are being made, right? Like we're pivoting this thing, right? And there's a lot of things that happen, and that takes time. Again, I mentioned it at media days. Like we live in this generation where, you want to go get the 90-second instant bag of rice, and we don't even want to take the time in our busy lives to boil the water and then throw the rice in the water, let alone measure the rice and make sure that it simmers. And do I add salt? Do I not? Well, okay, that's making rice. Like we get to come together and put together a collection of individuals, right? There's about 150 humans that I'm responsible for. And in that very complex human system, we're chasing wins that ultimately will be judged on in the fall. But it's an everyday thing to make sure that each individual knows and understands that no one, including myself, right, is bigger than the program. And yet in saying that, well, each individual matters. So that's the dichotomy of balancing all this, right? And so how do you get these new staff members, you get these new players, and you get everyone to align to a vision and get going the same direction, right? And that's what we're here to do. And clearly I didn't do a good enough job of that last year. As Kurt brought up at media days, there's plenty of people who have comments. There's the people in this room that have written great things that are awesome, right? But I promise you guys, like, no one has a higher standard, a higher expectation of what STech football is going to be than me. And I look forward to doing that work collectively with my staff and going forward with it.
The answer's always got salt.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why salt and pepper's on every single table in every single restaurant, right? There's a reason they travel together, all right? And there's a reason that you add it to enhance each dish.
Foundational.
Absolutely.
When you look at a guy like Trey Wyatt's going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah, definitely so.
How do you help him out to make sure he can do the things that he's not facing triple teams in the snap?
Yeah, I mean, pressure's a privilege, right? Like, we sat here a year ago and no one knew what Trey was capable of. And we asked him to have faith and to trust our process so that individually he could have great success. And he moves closer to the ball. He gets down to level 1. And obviously, because of who he is, buying into the process, ultimately those results came, which is great. So now, okay, cool. Like, now you have this target on your back or all these accolades that come. Like, excellent. Like, that's what we're here for, right? Like, and just because now you're a known entity, what does that mean? Like, Trey can't go hunt anymore? Like, we know where Trey is. Well, cool. Like, Trey still knows where the quarterback is. Like, Trey's still going to go get him, right? And that's where then being intentional about the development of Brady Nasser opposite of him, right? The development of Ryan Henderson, the opposite of him, right? Like, the going and identifying, hey, Niles King from Grand Valley State is a heck of a performer, right? And he did all that in an environment, in a situation where we can give him greater resources. We can give him better coaching, right? Then not saying that those guys there didn't do a tremendous job, right? But it's just, there's levels to this, right? That we are able to help him out with. And so having that depth of talent, and then for Trey to be able to look around and go, all right, yeah, like I'm the alpha dog of this group and I need to lead these guys and there's guys to compete with. And then he looks across and, hey, there's Big Joe's back, right? Christian's got a whole year of being the starting left tackle. And then, hey, you add Cameron May, you add Bio, and the depth of talent that he's going to compete against day in and day out. Like, now you're starting to cook with some gas, right? Like, that's where you get to go maximize the 12 opportunities in the fall, because Trey's one of the best players in college football. So he's going to continue to accentuate his skills, and he's going to make everyone else a part of our program better by having to go against them each and every single day in practice for the next 24 days and through the course of the season as we continue to get better.
Trey didn't have a sack the last 3 games last year. Is
Yep.
there something teams did to him then that they won't be able to do now?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously knew about him. They slid to him. They chipped him and everything, right? And again, like, that's where, again, Trey gets a lot of attention, rightfully so. Trey has added more techniques and more moves to his repertoire to be able to go impact and affect the passer. But then that's also, like, it's not just all on Trey, right? Like, it's also just like how we talk about with Gabe. Like, yeah, Gabe's got to kick the ball. There's no doubt. But Gabe can't kick the ball if other people don't help him out in that regard. And Trey's got to go get sacks and go get TFLs and wreak havoc and change the math. And there's 10 other guys that are on the field wearing all black and all white this year with them, right, that need to help out with that as well.
With Ross moving back to center, is that where the staff sees him best, or is that more need based on how the roster turned out?
No, I mean, Ross's natural fit is at center, right? And his knowledge of the game and his ability to give and receive information and getting the 4 guys around him all on the same page, that's where Ross's natural fit is. If anything, last year, Ross played at guard out of necessity, and getting him back to center, being his natural fit, will be good for him and good for us.
The tall trees in the offensive line, is that a byproduct of better pass protection?
Yeah, big people beat up little people, right? And it's probably having more big people as a byproduct of the community support of the rev share era and having the things that we need to present who we are and being able to get into the conversations with those big people's agents and then being able to close to get them signed and to be a part of our roster. But I like big people. They don't make me stand out so much.
Have you gotten good feedback from the team leaders about the off-season conditioning? And do you have a pretty good idea about who's with it?
Yeah, we've implemented a leadership council, committee group, whatever it is that you want to call it, right? And we had Coach Lou's book club all summer long, all season long, which has been awesome. And I've met with those guys every single week, every single Friday, and it always starts with, all right, hey, like, what are the blind spots? What don't I know? And the transparency and the truth that those guys have shared, again, because of the deeper relationships that we have and the amount of trust that's been built, has been excellent, right? So if anything has been really, really good throughout the course of the year, like, they've brought it to my attention. I've been able to praise it, and I think that's helped move us in the right direction, right? And if anything's been slightly off, instead of it going, maybe weeks without me noticing because of just, where I sit in the org chart, right? Like, you're able to rectify it and correct it sooner. So if we're slightly deviating off course, like I can adjust us and get us back on the path sooner. So yeah, those guys have done a tremendous job. Again, really feel confident with where we are and excited to go to work. We have these next 20 opportunities to practice in these 24 days to get better. We're talking about as a staff, and we've been using the climb, right? Like this whole year, like day by day, one step at a time, like the foundation work's been set, and to take it to an extreme, it's like we're sitting at base camp getting ready to scale Everest here, right? And like that's the height that we want to achieve. Like we've done the work, we're sitting at base camp, and now let's start doing the real work, right, as we go. And that's the cool thing, right? Like all eyes are on us right now. Hey, football season here, but like for us, the way we think about it, this is training camp is phase 4. So there's been 3 great phases leading up to this. There's a really solid foundation that gives me great confidence that we're going to go do great work this fall.
Criticism at the end of the spring camp about the drills you guys did at Snapdragon.
Sure.
Did that help the process you were just talking about? You had various players with various skills in various positions playing out of position and competing against similar teams. Did that help that process about building more of a team?
Yeah, I mean, like again, there's a fun component to this, right? And again, with everything that we were at and the decision that we made at the end of spring to have some fun and to go allow guys to do some different things that they're never going to do, allow some of the bigs to go be skill and to have that fun and to, again, present our kids' personalities in a different way. Like I thought it was great. There's some guys that, were at that point in time, if you go back in the video of life, right, like the spring portal window was open and guys were being tampered with and poached with and talked to and all the things, and have specifically told me since that day, because of the day that they got to have and the connection that they felt that day with our community and with their team, they're like, why would I give this up and go be a mercenary somewhere else? So like that was a great day. It was a lot of fun, And on the 14th, when we play real football and the ball gets put down and there's an open scrimmage with over 125 plays for everyone to see in Snapdragon, like that's going to be a fun day. And it's all part of this process of, again, like not being so rigid that we're just going to do it this way because we've always done it. Like a lot has changed, in a very, very short period of time where we've got to continue to evolve and serve our players the right way.
Did you get criticism that you're not playing dodgeball that day?
Probably not.
Coach, on defense, you had Trey White and Tunnel, the 2 we returned, who obviously not only put up good numbers, but were leaders on the field as well.
Yeah.
When it comes to today in college football with players transferring here and there, how important is it to retain not only good players, but those leaders as well?
It's critical, right? I mean, like, again, you got all the people in this building, like forget the technology, forget all the modalities that we use, right? Like everything we do is for the people. And to be able to have lifelong relationships that are transformational, you need to have time on task, right? Like you spell love T-I-M-E. Like that's how people are truly with you. And if things get hard and people leave, okay, like I don't feel any type of way, but like we can all think to moments in our life when things got hard, and if people left us that said that they loved us, that relationship was forever different. Right? Like it would be really easy for our key leaders at the end of a 3-9 season to say, hey, like I'm out. When all those guys said, no, like I'm in. Like I started something here. I want to finish it. I want to be a part of this. And it has motivated and inspired the whole locker room. And most importantly, then it allows us to continue to pour into their development. It pours into their growth. And it also signals to everyone in college football that like, hey, what we're doing is right, which has then led to us having the #1 recruiting class in the Mountain West right now. If we're able to retain and hang on to all these guys, right? Because your players, your current players, are your biggest advocates when prospects come to campus. So now like new prospects are coming to campus. Hey, what's going on here? Hey, go talk to these guys. Like you have a player forum that I leave. There's no staff members in. Hey, you guys got X amount of time. Ask whatever questions you want. Our #1 non-negotiable is to tell the truth all the time about everything. Secrets are lies. Talk to them. Why didn't they leave? Why are they still here, right? And so now there's 24 commits. It's the highest ranked class. It's the highest ranked class out of anyone that's going to the Pac-12. And again, like I'm only sitting in front of you guys because, I don't know, maybe I'm screwed up, but like it's about pouring into people. And other people that I've had the good work and the good fortune to pour into, those players made plays because they believed in what we were doing. And clearly the players who are here believe in our process, believe in what we're doing, and did that by staying. And now we have real leaders that know the lessons from last year, that have those scars from last year. Yeah, those scars hurt, but we wear those scars with pride because they make us better. Like we're harder, we're tougher because we went through that, and the bonds are stronger because we went through some adversity collectively as an organization. Like, I don't ever want anything bad to happen to my children, but like when I kept telling them, hey, the stove is hot, the stove is hot, the stove is hot, and then they burn their hand on the stove, guess what my kids have not done since then? They haven't touched the stove, right? So like, we want to protect everyone from everything and think that like, there's not going to be some sort of pain that doesn't hit. Like, it's the beauty of sports. There's a winner, there's a loser. We came up short way too much last year. And so now, hey, are you going to do something about it and change the pattern of behavior so the results change? Or are you just going to accept it and hit exit? And our guys are 10 toes down. There's business that needs to be finished, and we're excited to do that.
Sean, you had the luxury of 5,000 yards from Cooper in his career.
Yeah.
What's the running back room look like now, and is there the potential of that type of player on this roster?
I mean, the running back room's strong, and there are a lot of names that a lot of San Diegans are going to know very, very well, with Lucky Sutton and Christian Washington and Byron Carwell all back. I mean, those three guys are really, really talented. You know, Lucky really emerged as we moved through the spring, and I tell you what, next to all the questions that I've answered since I've been at the podium about quarterbacks or at different speaking engagements, the next most important topic is when's Lucky Sutton going to shine? And I really think we're poised for him to have a great year because of the work that he's done while he's been waiting. Excited to see Christian's continued development. Obviously, he has some proof of concept and who he is and what he's done at other places. And then excited to have Byron here, right? I mean, you just don't go up to a program like Oregon and start as a true freshman without some sort of ability, right? And we're pretty excited about getting him in the mix. And you know, when the pads come on and we play real ball this summer here, we'll figure out exactly what we have in that. But to say, hey, there's a generational talent in there that's going to be go down as one of the college football's career rushing leaders, the way that Coop did, kind of still later to tell. But you know, there's some really, really talented guys there. I think are going to be exciting and explosive players for us this fall.
You said it, Jake, about a year and a half, the offense will be clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So much difference in personnel, like quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Does that timetable change, or is there something that allows them to hit the ground running?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a really nice job of navigating the summer to help expedite that. Having both Bert and Jaden here this spring, right, to be able to get the uptake helps. Having guys that know the system, like a Jordan Napier, who have lived it and who have done it to help expedite that learning curve while the players have worked together, help go forward with that. But ultimately, we as coaches, we got to coach better, and players as players got to play better, and that'll help move everything along in the direction that we need to get to.
You talked a little bit about the wide receivers with Jordan basically the only guy back who had any numbers. How comfortable do you feel with that group?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're an explosive group. Obviously, Jordan leads it, right? And then you got Will Sanfrani, who's done a great job developing as well as he's been here. Jerry McClure has done a really nice job as well developing. And then the additions of a Donovan Brown, a Jacob Bostic, a Miles Kit Denton. You have guys in that room that have real explosive ability, right? Like the data that we're getting from summer conditioning, just the raw numbers of speed in that room and on the roster, it's really, really explosive. You know, Nate Acevedo has joined us, again, another San Diegan that was at the team up north last year. Excited to get him into the speed slot room as well. So there's some guys that have some real genetic traits that we covet, and there's some real depth of talent there that's going to, again, lead to great competition. And excited to see the relationship that's been built over the summertime with those guys been throwing to see exactly where we are as we get into the start of camp here this week.
Post-house settlement, how has that changed conversations maybe with current and future players, and how do you feel about the resources you guys have in that regard?
We talk a lot more about money, right, than we ever did. And I feel good about where we are, where we're going. And again, I think the results that speak to that is the recruiting class that we've been able to put together, the retention that we've been able to have. But it's interesting, right? Like, we joke, tongue-in-cheek, we talk a lot more about money. I don't have a ton of those conversations. The general manager does, which is great, because December of last year, I was having those conversations. So having Caleb on board, and again, getting him involved, has been outstanding. But the exciting thing about this era that gets such a negative light is that the players now have money in their pocket, right? And like this time in every other year that I've been a head coach, this time of year, you have young men that are coming into your office and they're talking about, hey, like, when's the scholarship check coming? When's the Pell Grant money hit? Because I got to be able to send some funds back home to help keep the lights on for the people who raised me or for my little sister, whatever the case might be. Like, now that there's the players are actually getting a cut of the pie, which is awesome because they're the ones that are doing the work and making the plays and are the product that's going out on the field. I haven't had any of those conversations because they have money in their pocket, which to me seems kind of fair, right? So it makes sense, and excited about where we're going. Maybe I'm one of the few that are excited about and embracing where we're going and don't look at this as a doom and gloom deal, but I think it's pretty exciting. I think it's pretty cool. Would I love there to be more stability? Would I love there to be more structure? Absolutely. I think we all, again, as humans, crave stability. We crave structure, right? Like, we don't like surprises necessarily, but it's also athletics, right? And adapt, improvise, overcome, figure it out. That's what we're here to do.
What's the one burning question you want to get answered between now and Stony Brook?
How physical are we? How tough are we?
What's the #1 book in the Coach Luke book club?
Toughness by Jay Billis. Shout out Jay Billis. So it's a full breakdown of what it takes to be mentally, physically, and emotionally tough. Great read. We took it chapter by chapter. You don't really know how, talk about like doing something different, doing something new. Like, I've never sat there and passed out books to my guys. Like, hey, of course we can talk about NIL, we can talk about rev share. No, here's your book. I'm gonna give you homework. And to see them really embrace that and to do the readings and have the conversations, it was awesome. And I, commend their maturity and their character to really lean into it and not go like, what the heck's going on here? Like, it led to some really great conversations and with some great tangible examples that, Jay Billis thinks basketball's awesome. I think football's better, right? So we had to kind of navigate some of that. But, it was a great read. It was an awesome journey for us to go on as the leaders of this team to do that work together. It was really cool.
How did you come by that book?
My wife gave it to me for Christmas. I devoured it over the Christmas holiday. I said, man, like, the leaders of our team really, really need this, right? It's like, my wife wants to know how physical we're going to be, how tough we're going to be. She likes a physical, tough football team. So I think she was indirectly trying to tell me something. Hey, maybe your team needs this. And you know whose comments I listen to? My wife's.
I'm going to go Phil Jackson on me.
No, it was once a week. We took it chapter by chapter, once a week. Yep.
Because you didn't go like full Phil Jackson, give everybody, you have to have this done by training camp?
We did not, no. Phil can do that way. How many guys are on an NBA team? He's managing a roster of 15, right? Again, like, that's the beauty and the complexity of what we get to do, right? Like, there's 105. Kobe was a great student. Like, Kobe's a lifelong learner. Like that, I think Kobe, if it benefited his end performance, he was about it.
You guys got like Dan Gall, who's got a national championship, right?
Yeah.
That's a unique thing to have him into your program. Can you have him lead, talk to guys like this? When we won in 23, this is what we had to do.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, you talk about, hey, the team needs to learn how to win. When you bring winners into the program, there's something intentional about the staff. It's intentional in things that we do in talent acquisition. Like, you get to these certain levels of the climb, and the more that you win, the harder it becomes, right? Like, the higher you get as you climb Everest, like, the air gets thinner. You have to make these personal choices like, is this really worth it? Is this really worth reaching the summit, right? And so to have a guy who's gone from this moment in the calendar through the whole year and been in the locker room and had been a part of hoisting the national championship, yeah, that has value. That has merit, right? And now he's got to continue to do a great job of earning the respect of his teammates so that when he speaks, guys will listen, right? And that's, again, the balance of being the team leader as a player or having the respect of the club as the head coach, like that. When do you speak up, right? And how do you help that guy know when it's the time to do those things? But the one thing that all guys respect is a guy who can play and a guy who can help the team win, right? And so that goes back to the confidence of whoever's going to become the quarterback, whether it's Jaden or it is Bert.